Hello everyone and welcome back to day one of this tournament, SC2Casts.com's first invitational, sponsored and brought to you by SC2Casts.com, your source of info on all the most recent casts, commentators, events, and pro games. Once again, I am your host for the tournament, ShickySC. Please check out my channel at youtube.com/ShickySC. The tournament is organized and run by starcraftworld.it, so thanks to them. Check out their news or their website for news and events. All right, jumping right into Group B here of day one, we've got another TVZ set of matchups, but this time it's going to be against with two players that I don't see quite as often, and I have to admit I like the style of these players, and I'm glad to have them in this tournament. Anyways, we've got Cloud spawning as the blue Terran on the 2 or 3 o'clock position here on Scrap Station. Once again, Scrap Station will be the first game or first map played on all of the series here for, I guess, day 1 through 6. And then it is loser picks, so we'll have to see what happens. His opponent is the Red Zerg Lalush. I hope I pronounced that right. It's not Lalush or Lalush. I hope it's Lalush, but anyways, I'm calling you Lalush. Anyways, like I said, I haven't seen a lot of these players in tournaments, but I do like their style on the games that I have seen casted for them, so I am looking forward to this set of TVZ once again. And as I said before, Scrap Station, fairly Zerg favored map. If they destroy these rocks, there's a really close distance towards them, and they can expand away from the Terran player, as Day 9 has said. And once again, I got to give props to Day 9 and his countdown party and everything he does. It's helped me as a caster and a player so much. So shout out to Day 9. And yeah, as he said, it is a Zerg favored map. And by... sorry, some chat going on. Anyways, by expanding away from the Terran, you are limiting their mobility even more than they already are. And Santa, of course, is the owner or operator of SC2Casts.com, so shout out to him for setting this up. Check out their forums on their website and give him a thank you for setting this up. He did put up the prize pool by himself with the website, so awesome job for them. We'll have more details on the prize pool coming up shortly. So Lush is going for fairly fast expansion. He put that down around 14 or 15, and he's also getting his spawning pool fairly early. So he's going to be doing probably not a lot of early harassment, as there's no gas coming up yet. He's going to be focusing more of an economic build by getting more and more drones, and by using the majority of his larva for drones, he will be limited on Zerglings that he can produce or tech structures that he will make as well. And of course that will allow him to saturate more thoroughly and get a better mid-game going. So by sacrificing a little bit in the early game, if you feel you can do so, if you know your opponent or you're scouting properly, that can be the right decision to make. Anyways, yeah, so Cloud looks to be just getting out a single Marine here and then going straight into a factory. If he would have pumped out a few more Marines, I may have thought that he was going to do that similar push that we've seen a lot of Terrans do, similar to what TLO did in the last game. But it looks like he's going to bypass the factory and go straight for the starport. And now more Marines are coming out. Tech Lab is coming down on the factory, or being constructed on the factory, and a bunker as well. So playing a little bit defensive. We'll have to see what that means for Cloud's mid-game. I am unfamiliar with the variety of builds that he does use, so I'm looking forward to see what goes on. That starport is almost finished now, and actually that factory was just producing a tech lab for that starport. And if we look, the Overlord did get to see that there is a starport. He didn't see this tech lab though, so I'm not sure if he's going to be aware that there's either a Raven or a Banshee coming out. And come on, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? Viking. Okay, I'm confused. Okay. A little bit threw me off a little bit there, but it looks like he is going to go Overlord hunting with those Vikings. I don't really think he needed to add on a Tech Lab for that, but maybe he's going to transition into Banshees or Ravens. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Creep Tumor is not being utilized too well right now. He could probably deal with all this extra larva that he's got. He could use the energy from one of these queens and put down another Creep Tumor and spread that a little more thoroughly. Lair is about to be finished here on his natural expansion, so choosing to add that HP to the natural instead of the main base, a little bit peculiar, but I have seen it done. It makes your natural expansion a little more durable. Siege Tech is coming in from ClouD here, or being researched by ClouD, and he is just pumping out one Siege Tank, and I believe there's just still one Viking out in the field. Yeah, one Viking, nothing else from the starport, so that Tech Lab definitely wasn't needed right there. The factory could have kept it and continued to produce Siege Tech a little bit quicker. So both players just macroing up for the mid game or late game. Roach Warren is finished, not researching anything quite yet, and I don't see anything from the lair being upgraded yet either. So I'm not sure what Lalush's game plan is, but ClouD is getting some scouting info in with his Viking, although if he's not careful he may lose that. Although there's not much to scout right now, as Lalush is not really doing too much. Now spreading that creep a little more thoroughly, because he's got that third queen up, he is able to utilize all the energy from that queen and just produce, well, poop creep tumors everywhere he can. So he's got a Zergling here down at the base of the ramp here from ClouD's natural, just making sure there is no pushes coming out or anything crazy. And did I see a red dot? Maybe not. I thought I seen a red dot which would have indicated a changeling, but I guess I could have just looked at the units and realized there is an Overseer. Where's this Overseer? And did it just finish? It must have just finished, because it is still here with almost full energy. So I thought it was a changeling, but I'm wrong. Siege Tech on the Siege Tanks is of course finished by now, and putting up a couple missile turrets. Did he scout a Spire? I don't see anything, but just preemptively putting those up. Maybe he was expecting burrowed roaches or maybe mutalisks, but they are not coming, and those turrets are just going to be there for, I guess, to make his base look a little bit prettier. Needs to use the energy from this orbital command, and he does do so on my command, so I'm awesome enough to tell the pros what to do and they listen to me. Sarcasm. Anyways, another supply depot coming down for ClouD, just making sure he doesn't get supply locked. A good Terran player will always want to get that supply. Probably when you're 7 to 9 supply ahead, you'll want to get it. So if you're 50 out of 57, make sure you get your supply depot. Because by the time you produce a few of those units from that factory, you will be supply locked and you won't even know it. Roach is now pushing through these destructible rocks, already through the close set, and now just about to be down. Yes, the second set is finished, and 15 roaches pushing through. Creep tumors still being spread out, and these siege tanks, though, all the way across the field, if he does get some sight of these roaches, they will get some big pot shots down on them. And 10 Zerglings now as well, going to be taken out by these Marines and Siege Tanks though. But there is quite a few more Zerglings coming in, and these Siege Tanks now are going to be useless as the Zerglings pour into the base here, and ClouD GG's. So I guess he felt he was just overwhelmed with that push. He did not expect it. Both players really did not have much of an army until all of a sudden Lalush figures he's just going to push out a bunch of roaches and do a push. So yeah, Lalush does take game 1, and game 2 is coming up right away.